Welcome back, scrappers. Tonight I'm scrapping the power supply for LED strip lighting. As you can see, I've got quite a few of them, but it's my first time trying, so I have no idea what to expect when I open them up. Okay, so this is one of the drivers I have. So I guess first things first. I guess I know that one's broken. The ground just pulled right out with it. Usually they're brass, but feels really light, so it might actually be aluminum. I'm just going to scratch it here. Yeah, that's actually an aluminum contact. So take that. Got the cord here. Pull these out. Now these are brass. So I just take my side cutters, pull that right out. Bit of brass. Again, just twist. Bit more brass. And the ground. When I strip cords, I usually leave this on because the yard will buy it, and it's just a little extra weight. And the same thing there. So I got a little bit of number 2 insulated copper. Okay. Okay, so now let's crack this open, shall we? Oh, that was pretty easy. Okay, bit of plastic. Got 2 aluminum heat sinks here. Okay, no, bit more plastic there. So I got a little bit of aluminum. Actually, they're right on the back of this. That would go in my copper bucket. Get that off. There we go. So that's all copper inside, so I'm going to throw that in with my number 2 insulated and a little aluminum heatsink. And another little bit of aluminum there. And another little bit of number 2 insulated copper. Couple of screws, so I got some number 2 copper, some aluminum, some brass, a little more aluminum. These here are the contacts. Usually they are brass, but for some reason in here they're aluminum. It's a little bit more aluminum. A little more aluminum. Okay. I usually cut the cord off last just because I can get that little extra copper there. Okay. There's another little bit here that is probably brass. So pull that out. Okay. I think I'm going to throw that in my aluminum because that's really light. It doesn't feel like brass. So another little bit of number 2 insulated. So these are capacitors, these round things here. This hasn't been plugged in a while, so it's probably safe, but these hold a charge. So you kind of want to leave them for a couple of days at the minimum before you pull them off, because you can get a pretty high voltage shock out of them. And that's another large capacitor right there. So I've got 2 little copper bearing motors there. So usually what I do is I take my side cutters and just cut the contacts underneath. Cut underneath. Comes off pretty easy. This one here's pretty big, so again, just in underneath. In underneath. Gonna get the flat blade because this one is quite large. Okay. Usually goes really well, except for when you're filming. Okay, and there we go. And you can see that that discolored is, we had a little bit of, I guess that's why it failed, is it burned up. Okay, so I'm just going to clean, I'm going to take the ferrite off of this and the plastic off that one. And I'll do a close-up of them. Okay, so I just finished pulling the copper out of those little transformers, and I've got everything on the scale there now. So I've got a total of 7.3 ounces, so almost half a pound. So I've got I've got almost almost 5 ounces of number 2 insulated copper. I have got 2.3 left. So I've got 0.7 ounces of aluminum and 0.6 ounces of number 2 copper, and 2 tiny metal screws that probably aren't going to show up. No, not even going to show up. Okay, so it took me about 5 or 6 minutes to scrap that. Probably would have been a bit quicker if I hadn't been doing a video of it. And almost a half pound of scrap. So yeah, if you do come across those, they definitely are worth scrapping. There's a lot of aluminum and a lot of number 2 copper in there.